A confirmed higher low nearly 2 weeks after the $30,000 dumpening, with the first bullish cross approaching on Bitcoin's 6-hour chart since May 12th, when Bitcoin was above 55,000 US dollars, and a dreaded potential bearish cross only days away on Bitcoin's daily chart. The tensions have never been higher. But sometimes the best way to relieve some stress is to lock your door, grab some Jello, and the rest just falls into place. I'm your host, Tommy Tickle Me Timbers, and it's come to my attention that apparently everyone hates each other. After a day of intense straight-up stress, anger, and uncontrollable lactation, it seems as though the doom and gloom has temporarily lifted as we've maintained a higher low, actually bouncing at that next Fibonacci level. Absolutely very critical. So there's a lot going on in these charts. Is the sentiment now shifting, and does Bitcoin have one potential chance to break 38, potentially 40,000 US dollars? Or is it just a series of continued dumpiness in store? So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, miss these absolute time-sensitive alerts. And without any further ado, let's jump in. Dump on me once, shame on you. Dump on me twice. Well, it doesn't actually feel all that bad. Absolutely insane, guys. So Bitcoin yesterday actually was able to hold and is potentially forming a symmetrical triangle pattern. And basically all that is really confirmed at this point is that the lows are getting higher and the highs are getting lower, and Bitcoin is getting squinched and squeezed into some sort of pattern. And let's just get this out of the way. I think it is very likely that Bitcoin has set the bottom, okay? Every time Bitcoin approaches anywhere near 30K, you know, when it's below 35, everyone is just so bearish, just screaming, this is it. And every time we're above 35K, it changes a little bit to the other way, right? Sentiment is so easily influenced. But if we take the emotion out of this, again, guys, really nothing incredibly bearish has happened. The fact that we continue getting pushed down, okay, we keep getting rejected off of levels that we need to see break if we want to maintain a bullish bias in the short term. So, I mean, obviously, if you're bearish in the short term, it's pretty well warranted. Like, we're failing all of the short-term levels that we have to break. But at the same time, if you want to hold out hope for a bullish bias, a bullish reversal shortly, you essentially do have a reason for that, considering that we continuously set higher lows here, and it's been happening for the past week and a half. So in that sense, it does not make sense to get full-on bearish at this point, but it also doesn't make sense to get full-on bullish. This is just a very, very tension-filled time because of what the price action is doing to us. Okay, as I've said before, fundamentally, if you're not bullish on Bitcoin, then you're just not paying attention. You don't understand Bitcoin, because fundamentally, you have every reason to be extremely bullish, and that's why personally, I don't care worst case scenario or best case scenario. It only makes sense for me to be invested in crypto. I understand it, I believe in it, and I'm going to stay in cryptocurrency. That is why I stayed in cryptocurrency for a 2.5-year bear market. And by like the last 2 months of 2020, I had already made gains that were unbelievable, right? So I just want to reiterate that. I don't care what happens over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, whatever. I'm going to be investing in crypto long term, like I have been already, and it's already paid off immensely. It's going to keep paying off immensely years down the road. So that's just my perspective. However, in the short term, there is still a case to be made that we could be reversing rather quickly. And when I say rather quickly, I think it may be quickest a month away. So not as quick as some people might be wanting, right? Looking at these charts, I don't think we're going to be at all-time highs by next week. It doesn't make any sense. Even in my opinion, the most bullish scenario here, it's going to take some time to gather momentum and to reverse. It's going to take, again, in my opinion, at least like 3 to 4 weeks. So it's not going to be immediate. As we've said back on May 19th, if we're going to start bouncing here, we have so many tests above us. And as it's proven since then, we've been failing those tests. So if we're going to maintain any bullishness in the short term, we need to start breaking these levels. And it's clearly going to take some time. Bitcoin does not have the momentum right now to be breaking to those levels. But at the same time, what we're seeing play out is that the bears don't necessarily have that momentum either, okay? They have not breached 30K since May 19th. They have not had the momentum. And in fact, we're putting in a potential bullish reversal pattern here. And as we talked about, we've been holding these fib levels. This is the first one we talked about on May 19th. Then the second one 4 days later on May 23rd. And then our third one just yesterday, where we put in this next fib level. Now, this will be a giant test here, guys, because, right underneath 37,000 US dollars is a pretty key fib level. And as well, there's also the golden pocket right about here. that kind of ranges from 37 to 38,000 US dollars. So we're going to most likely have at least some momentum to push up here, as we're actually getting a bullish cross on the 1 hour chart with the 21 going above the 50 just now. So that's our first bullish cross since I guess back on May 24th, when we rallied from about 36 all the way up to over $40,000, and then we failed. So now it looks as though we do have another chance over the next couple of days to try to put in a new high, to try to make one of these highs a higher high. For that to happen, it would pretty much have to break 40,000 again, because we failed that level, and ever since then we've just been going down. But again, we have another renewed hope of a short-term move. But even more importantly, on the 6 hour chart, we have potential over the next couple of days, probably I would say within the next 48 hours or so, another chance at a bullish cross that we have not had a cross on this since before the dump. So we had a bearish cross on this 6 hour chart on May 12th. And Bitcoin was at 57,000 US dollars when we got that cross. And this is where the cross was, okay? Right here. So you can pretty much tell what happened after that cross. That is when the floor just dropped out on Bitcoin. It was kind of a slow bleed at first, and then on May 19th, obviously, going from like 44,000 all the way down to 29,000 here on Bitfinex. So this will be our very first bullish cross, and cross in general, since May 12th. So that gives some renewed hope for Bitcoin to actually gain some momentum here. Okay, I think one of the biggest criticisms about denying a bullish reversal at this point has been the weak momentum, as Bitcoin had a pretty big slam down, to a little under 30,000, then a quick move back up above 40K, but it's been failing ever since then and failing to set any new higher highs. And obviously that's why we have this pattern being shaped, because we had that initial reaction and then it's just been lower and lower and squeezing since then. I think if we actually do have a shot of getting a real bounce to the upside, it's going to be obviously the end of this pattern, the completion of this pattern, which will also be around the time we actually get a bullish cross here. So, I mean, for the most part, I think at this point, this is maybe the last hope for a short-term bullish move for Bitcoin, at which point, if that fails, then there's really nothing else on these charts that I can see at this moment that would give us any short-term bullish hope for Bitcoin. But as well, Bitcoin in the next 12, 24 hours does have to battle these moving averages, the 21 and 50 on the 4 hour chart, as well as a very big level of Fibonacci resistance, the golden pocket here. And just historically, Bitcoin's not been super good at breaking above 36 and 37 and holding ever since we fell here. So there are some bullish things shaping up. There are bullish possibilities here. So it's not all doom and gloom in the short term. There's definitely a chance for Bitcoin to actually break to the upside here over, I mean, obviously this would be well within the first week of June, so maybe even towards June 4th or 5th. On the 1 hour chart, obviously it's also shaping up the 6 hour bullish cross here, but as well, to the bearish side on the daily chart, we have yet another potential bearish cross. This is not guaranteed yet, and in fact, if we got a nice move above 40K, it could be negated. But it's the 21 day coming down to this 200 day, which is another bearish move. So it makes sense why people would be confused based on the technicals. Based on the fundamentals, nobody should be confused. Based on sentiment, again, sentiment, aka emotional analysis, is kind of irrelevant. It can flip like a switch. It changes so quickly in crypto, just like technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is more concrete. It's probably the most robust of all of those. But yeah, the technicals right now are giving off a lot of mixed signals. But late last night, we actually had Cardano go above its 50-day moving average, which we talked about it getting rejected there in yesterday's video. It did get rejected so far at the 21-day, so it had some nice momentum to the upside, but still is facing resistance there. Ethereum has not been able to do that exact thing here, and Ethereum has a potential bearish cross looming as well, the 21 going below the 50, which Ethereum actually avoided back in the middle of March as it was trading sideways. And remember, people were very bearish on Ethereum back here. It was trading between like 1,800 and 1,400 for like 2 months, and it negated this bearish cross and it held there, and then it went on to go up to like 4,400 US dollars. But now we do have a potential bearish cross shaping up here. It looks very likely that we're going to actually get this bearish cross this upcoming week. And yeah, the entire altcoin market cap also was able to actually get back above the 100-day moving average. But again, guys, we actually, as of today, are getting a bearish cross with the 21 going below the 50 on the entire altcoin market cap. chart. So for the most part, the technicals usually give a clear bias one way or the other. Like overall, it's a pretty short-term bullish situation or short-term bearish. But this is one of the rare moments where I think it's very, very okay to be, saying, well, there's a very clear case to be made for a bullish bias because of how much we've dropped and because we have some things shaping up. But it's just as likely here to say, well, we also have a very, very clear bearish bias in the short term as well. So I guess to end out the analysis, I will just say that right now I'm long on Bitcoin, right? I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about it, but I'm saying a certain thing and I'm backing it up with telling you what I'm actually doing. I'm long on cryptocurrency right now. Is that foolish? Long term, absolutely not. Oh, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, turn in case you miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.